Alright guys, hello. My name is Eve. I am going to be a reader today. I am your goddess with the mostest, your high priestess with the beastest of beasts. I'm working on that intro, but we'll get better at it. It's fine. If you have seen me before, you know that this is a new channel. And we do Monday meditations, Thursday thoughts, and tarot card readings once a month. This reading is going to be for the Taurus collective. If you are interested in seeing some things that I've not listed on my page, you are more than welcome to find me at my other socials. I'm listed at The Gardens, periods, with some 326 at the end. It is The period Gardens, periods 326. And as I mentioned, today we are doing tarot readings for Taurus. So if you are Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, some Venus, some of your Mars, go ahead and stay tuned. If you are stalking our lovely Taurans, go ahead and follow along. If this relates, please feel free to like, share, and comment below. If you are finding that this does not relate, no worries. Check out your other placements. There might be something for you there. Alright, so today we are going to be using 4 decks to do our readings. So I started with Aries and we are moving to Taurus. The Aries, we decided that we we're going to do a year reading because January is all about manifesting, bringing in things that we want to incorporate for the year. So I want to let you know how your year is going so far. We are using 2 different decks. We're going to be using the As Above, So Below. And this is a part of our Book of Shadows reading or tarot deck. We also have the Mystic Rose Oracle cards. This is going to be for the end for us to give you some more information. And then we'll be doing clarifications with our Alice in Wonderland deck here. Very beautiful cards. So, just so you are aware, this is again for the Taurus energy. We're doing the year-long reading. And we are going to be explaining with these cards for clarification because we do not do upside downs in these cards for right now. It may change in the future, but for today, not so much. Alright, so let's start with our subject. Alright, subject. This is going to be the subject for your year, Tauran energy, which is interesting because you got a similar card for Aries for your subject of the year. It looks like we got the World card here, and then your 7 of Water on this side. Okay, you see that? Beautiful. Now, this is going to be the subject of your year, and I'll explain that soon. Let's go ahead and put down your cards for the month and go from there for each month. So we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Follow with another round of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. These years are going by so quickly, you guys. So I'm going to give you some information about each part of the year. I will clarify where I think there needs to be clarification. And we are going to get started here. Now, for most of these cards, it is going to start with your spiritual into your physical. However, I can see now that for you, Taurus, you are going to be moving from your physical into your spiritual for the reasoning of your year. So physically, what is happening is the World card. All right. So you see that girl and she's glowing and all these people are walking around. They look kind of gray. Yeah, beautiful. So essentially what this is saying is that physically you have been through a lot. All right. You have been through trials. You've been through tribulations. You've been through things. Okay. And so we are trying to highlight that you are a wise person in this card. And doing so, it is saying that since you have been through so much, the world is now your oyster. You are in the final steps of getting everything done that you have been working for. Now, it doesn't mean that you have reached success all the way, but it does mean that you have reached a maturity, a new level of understanding, that you can move through this world kind of effortlessly with a sense of joy. All right? Some of my Taurus aren't necessarily the most joyous of people, but trust me when I say that the trials and tribulations you have been through has taught you how to truly feel joyful in these moments. Now, also, we have 7 of water. 7 of water. So this is not going to be standard for like our 7 of cups here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this to you because I do have my Book of Shadows book. And I want to be more precise because of the things that you're going to be going through for the year. So, spiritually, you got the 7 of water. I don't usually pull out my book, but I do have it on the side just in case. But I wanted to read this one to you. So, this is an Egyptian goddess of justice. She's about divine order, truth, and moral law. Her job is to weigh the heart of the departed against her feather of truth. Which is interesting because the person who usually does that is, oh gosh, his name is slipping. But he's like the dog guy. He's Anubis. Ha, there you go. I knew it. It was in there. Anubis is usually the one that does this, but they're talking about Mot, the Egyptian goddess. And so she has the final decisions, and her powers are such that even the other gods and goddesses must abide by her determination. She represents the rules and order that keep the universe moving forward and not falling into chaos. There's a strict balance must be observed. It is very likely in ancient Egypt, no doubt that they had their own ideas about how all this worked. However, the 7 of water is a time of accounting. It's time to consider our actions, measure them against our beliefs. We should be living accordingly to what we claim to be right. Before acting, we ask ourselves, is this the action of the person I wish to be? So, my Tauran individuals, as I said before, you have been through a lot. Okay, you have been through the ringer. You have come out successful in some areas. You have come out a little under in some other areas. And now your spirit is telling you, because of all the things that you have been through, you are trying to weigh out your actions. Weigh out the things that you are trying to do. Who are you trying to be this year? With all the wisdom that you have accomplished, who are you trying to be? And then, how are you going to be acting based on who you are trying to be? Let's remember this, okay? So, I'm not going to tell you who you are. You are going to know who you are. And that is all that matters. But what does matter is that based on how you determine your beginning of your year, of who you are, do some self-reflection. This is something I recommended in another reading. But I say, sit in front of a mirror, turn off the lights, make it late in the night so you're not disturbed or something. If you got some candle, get a candle going, and stare in the mirror. This is hard work. But what you're doing is you're having a face-to-face, a coming to terms, okay? You need to talk to yourself legitly and say to yourself, who are you? What is it that you want? The good, the bad, the ugly, in between. And the thing is that most people want to be all the best of the best. But the thing is that we have a mix of both. And so we have to determine what of our negative attributes are we going to let ride, and what of our positive attributes are we going to let ride. And the rest of that, determine what it is that you are not doing. Draw that line in the sand, because you have to move forward. If you're not trying to regress, if you're not trying to keep going through the same patterns that you have in the past years, you're going to need to learn how to draw that line, weigh out what it is that you're really trying to do, and move forward. because we backtrack a lot, okay? In the Taurus area, sometimes we be backtracking. We take 1 step forward, 3 steps back, and then we take 10 steps forward, and then we take 2 steps back. But either way, we really need to balance out what we're doing and try to keep moving forward. This is for your benefit. I'm trying to help, I promise. Okay, so let's start with January. We got the World card coming up first in our spiritual area, and then our Justice card coming up next. So it looks like we are relying a lot on our spirituals to lead us coming into the first part of the year, which is beautiful. I love that. Do the introspecting. Let the introspecting lead where you need to go. But again, it's saying you got the world. Remember, the world is part of what we are, working on for the year. So you're coming in strong with this energy of, I'm wise, I am collected, I am brave, I am beautiful, I am all the things. New Year is always a great time to do this because you're making your resolutions. As I said, this is a manifestation month. So you're making those resolutions, you're making those ideas that this is what you're trying to do, what you're trying to be. Beautiful, Taurus. However, again, with New Year's resolutions, they be calling that second week the quitter's week. We're not doing that this year, okay? We are staying focused. Stay focused. Now, this is affecting your physical world and our justice area, right? So, again, it's like a repeat of what we are just saying about how you're determining your year. You are weighing out things. You are balancing out what is good for you, what is bad for you, what you are going to do, what you're not going to do. Justice, I don't know if you understand the justice system, but half the time justice is not about right and wrong. It's about who is given the best argument, okay? So when you are weighing out these pros and cons, looking at yourself in the mirror, be true, be adamant, and be like, what is it that you truly want? And then weigh out the pros and cons, okay? Again, positive, negative, toxic, non-toxic, doesn't really matter. I'm not here to judge. What is that the new trend? We listen and we don't judge. Facts. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to tell you that if you're trying to move forward and you're trying to get the things that you need to get done, you're going to need to be honest with yourself. Because when you're not honest with yourself and you're not honest about the things that you're actually going to do, you slide back. You backtrack. And you're also on a path that is not meant for you. Okay? You need to know what path you need to be on. So be honest. Be true. Start off the year correctly so that you don't get mad halfway through the year that you can't stick to it. Okay, that is all I'm trying to say. Now, that's January. February. We got some transformations happening. Whoop, whoop. Love the transformations. And we got some Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Okay? So, your spirit is going through a transformation. One of the things that we're talking about in the Be Here Now series that we're doing for our Thursday Thoughts is the caterpillar to the butterfly. They talk about how the transformation is not something that you can control. It is something that happens to you. Okay, so Taurus, here's what I'm going to say to you. You may not necessarily understand what transformation that you're going to have coming into February, but something is happening on your spiritual development that is going to transform you. Okay, let me see if I can get you some insight on that. What is this transformation about? So it's giving you the King of Pentacles here. So maybe a new job, maybe a new endeavor that you're putting effort into. Maybe you are in a family dynamic and you are being a father or a mother. Something about you being in charge though, and you're leading a physical aspect. So physical things are money, food, living, environment, things you can touch, these are the things that you are leading. And so being in the king position is a very dominant individual, a person who is making the decisions and getting the things put into place. There's a lot of delegating with the king. He doesn't do a lot of the work himself, but he does direct. He does get the things moving. So the transformation could be that you're in charge and telling people what to do, or it could be that you have this new endeavor, this new direction that you're heading in, and that new direction is creating this transformation within you. It's creating some new habits, creating some new values, some things that you are going to be more inclined to do. Okay? And then it also gives you the Queen of Swords. which means that there's going to be a lot of discussion that needs to be happening. So the queens are about growth. And this is like, so spiritually, you're like, I know I need to move in these directions, right? And then it translates to your outside world and that Queen of Swords, which means that you're going to be talking to people. You're going to be discussing your ideas. You're going to be discussing where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want things to change, how you want things to grow. Now, here's what I will say. The queens are very matter of fact. They're very like, this is what I want and that's it. So a lot of your Tauran stubbornness, notoriously, may be coming out here. I am not going to tell you to bend or not bend. If you have discussions that you want to talk about, you want to do a reading or something, we can go into more detail on that. That's fine. But what I will say is that be careful of what you are saying. You don't want to offend, but maybe you do. I mean, that's really your choice, but it's a double-edged sword. So just understand how you deliver is going to be very important. If you are delivering harshly, it's going to be received harshly. Harsh reactions are going to be had. So make your choice how you want to do it. If you want to be harsh, be harsh. I ain't got a problem with it. Okay, so that is February, January, February, and now we're moving into March. Okay, so March is our Maiden of Air. You got a lot of air signs, a lot of talking happening. And then you got the Hermit, okay? Maiden of Air, and then our Hermit. So, Maiden of Air, in this deck, we have, instead of the King, Queen, Jack, and stuff, we have the Crone, the Maiden, the Maid, the Crone, the Mother, and the Maiden. And so, essentially, they're going to be encompassing a little bit of duality in these for, like, your normal tarot deck. So, what it's saying is, for the Maiden of Air, you are in a place of growth. Okay, so some of the information that you have been receiving and that you are accepting about yourself and that you are talking to your spiritual guides, your ancestors, anyone that is helping you on a holistic level, it is translating information inside of you. You're creating these new neural pathways of information. And so it is causing you to think about things in a different way. The caution that I have with this for you is that it is immature thinking. And I don't mean like you're childish. I just mean like it's new ways of thinking. So try to remember that you do not fully understand a concept, that you are still learning about this concept. You are still in that development stages. So while you are moving in this direction, keep yourself open to the idea of it adjusting. It may not change all the way. It's not going to go from right to left, but it may need a little minor slight tilt, back and forth. Just keep that in mind, that as you are going through this spiritual development, you're still in that learning stage. Now, also, we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is implying that you're going to be doing a lot of these thinking on your own, in your solo time. All right? So, when you are in Hermit mode, that means that you are less talking to other people about these things. You are on your own way of like understanding and developing these concepts. So, I'm not getting more of like solitude so much as you're not letting other people's opinions affect how it is that you are thinking or feeling. When you are alone is when you have your best thinking times for you to understand what it is that you are truly trying to manifest and create and stuff during this time. But you are also developing this because you want your own ideas to be the forefront, not someone else's ideas, which is good. Again, notorious stubborn Tauran effort here, but I find it beautiful in a sense that you're really trying to stick to who you are and what it is that you are trying to do. This is good for you. So that is January, February, March. April time. April is Tauran month. So we are getting into Tauran energy right here. I'm going to say that your physical world has come up first, which is our 10 of Swords happening right now. And then we got our 7 of Air. 7 of Air. So what I'm going to say is that your whole year is a very thought-provoking thing. You're going to be thinking a lot here. So be aware that you are in your head a lot during this time, and you are doing a lot of introspective work. be careful with the introspective work, that you are not assuming again that what you're thinking is fully true, because what you're doing is really developing yourself. You're really trying to understand yourself, what it is that you desire, and all that stuff. When you take those thoughts and you place them on the outside, you are projecting your internal dialogue. And instead of projecting the internal dialogue, absorb the internal dialogue. Okay? Listen to what it has to say, but then observe. Keep yourself open to what is actually happening around you. Okay, so January, February, March, April, what is happening is something physical is occurring. We have the Ten of Swords that is happening right here. Okay, so we got the Phoenix and stuff that's going on. Now, your tens are usually about completion. It's the end of something. You're ending a cycle, ending something, right? And the Ten of Swords in particular is usually a pretty gruesome looking card. In the normal tarot deck, you have like this dude who's impaled by like 10 different swords. And this is the do not enter. So the Knight of Swords is like a detour. The Ten of Swords is like, do not enter, do not pass go, do not collect $100. Don't do none of that. Like, don't even walk in this direction. You ain't even going to jail. You're getting hanged at the end of this. So it's saying this is a dead end. Okay? Whatever is happening over here in April, dead end. It's over. It's done. Alright? Now, what I will say is given Phoenix for the outcome of it. So when you dead a situation, there's a new birth that's happening. And it's kind of like our death card, but not fully in that sense. It's not a transformative restoration from that process. It's more of like, we're not going over there, so we're going over here. All right, this is the about 180, not maybe not a 180, maybe a 90 degree, but it's saying that's not the path for you. We're going over here. So you're going to be made aware. Okay, there's something happening physically. Physically something is happening, and they're like, no, whatever it is, no. They're saying no to you. And how this is affecting you spiritually, it's giving you the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. So it's allowing you to be more aware of what it is that you really want. Your Seven of Pentacles is closer to the Seven of Cups in the normal deck. But for this one, it's, or Seven of Air, sorry. Kind of close to like your Seven of Cups here. But it's saying you have a lot more options now that you're going to be thinking about. So because this is deaded, it's saying think of what else is available to you. Think of what else is something that is profitable or manageable for you to actually do. And it's something that's going to be physical that you can get done because whatever happened has cut you off from something that you were trying to do and translate into physical. So because of that, it's saying look at your other options. Look at your other aspects of what you could be working on and what you could be doing. Okay? Now, moving into May. We're going back into still Tauran energy, but the end of the Taurus cycle. And so in May, you have your Ace of Fire. Ace of Fire. And then you have your King of Pentacles. Is that the King? No, that's the Knight. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Okay? Okay, so you have found new inspiration, which is good, Taurus. I'm so glad that you've moved on so quickly. Essentially, what you're saying is like, you know what? You're right. I am still the ish. Okay? I am still the cream of the crop. I am still the creme brulee. I'm that little crunch on top that y'all be looking for. Don't even worry about it, boo-boo. So I'm telling you right now, tap into that energy. Your ish don't stink, okay? That's the vibe that you're trying to have. That's what your soul is telling you. It's saying, hey, new inspiration here. Don't even worry about what did not work out, because guess what? It was just making way for something else that you needed, okay? Making way for something else that's going to be good for you. Now remember, you are weighing out these pros and cons. You're weighing out the things in this world, because the world, you are wise now. You are wiser. And you're moving in the world a little more easier based on the things that you have been through in the past. So, because of that, when you are hitting this inspirational peak, is you tapping into that internal dialogue of like, you know what? Pros and cons say that wasn't for me anyway. Okay? All right. Now, also, it says the Knight of Pentacles. So, your Knight of Pentacles is a hard worker. Something that you have found that inspiration for is now something that you need to put in effort for. It's not easy. I'm sorry. It's not. It's like doing yard work. It's like farming. You know, you're going outside, you're putting in the effort. Look at this man. He's outside, he got his gloves on, he's digging in the dirt. You know, it takes some time too. It's not going to be mutually beneficial right away. It is saying that it's going to take some time for it to develop itself fully how it needs to be developed. So, in May, we're still at the end of Taurus season. Don't get me wrong. I'm not necessarily saying that it's not going to be profitable what you're working on, but I am saying that to get the profit you're looking for, and it does look like there's going to be profit here, you just need to put in some effort. You got the inspiration now, put in that effort. I'm not sure if this is actually a work situation. It may be a work situation, like it may be a new business, it may be a new charity, it may be a new thing that you're working on, but whatever it is physical. So it's happening internally, you're trying to make it into a reality. You did get some dead ends at the beginning up here, but don't even worry about it. Is this about the same thing? It's not about the same thing. So whatever got deaded up here is different for what's down here. Up here, whatever got deaded is like an emotional thing, okay? But whatever is down here that is you're working on, something else. But it's a different passion for you to follow, which is good. Okay, so that was May. Now we're into June. So June has the Crone of Fire for your spiritual inspiration. And then you have the Nine of Cups. Maybe you were celebrating your birthday a little late this year. Maybe that's what it's given. It's given late birthday party. Okay, so what it's saying here is that you are taking a break. All right, you're taking a break away from all the things that you are passionate about, that you were gung-ho for. You're like, you know what, I started this year off real strong. And you did. I'm not gonna lie, you started off real strong. Real in the thoughts, real in the planning, real in the process, okay? So you're like, spiritually, your spirit is saying, we have reached a burnout period. You worked really hard. You kind of burned the candles at both ends. It's time to take a break. And I'm going to tell you to give yourself this break. All right? Mostly because you cannot force spirit. You remember that transformation that I was telling you about? You cannot force these things to occur. You have to allow them to happen at their own pace. So forcing it is really just going to make you more aggravated. So I'm going to tell you during this time, this is June, do not force yourself to be present, to be active, to do whatever if that is not what you are feeling. Take your break. Take it. Okay? This is your late birthday gift to yourself. And the reason why I say that, because you also have the Nine of Cups here, the Nine of Chalices in this position. Can you see it? I know the light is like reflecting weirdly, but that's it. So what is this? Is the Wish card. And this, it is another time of manifestation for you. So it's saying to sit back, reevaluate what it is that you have been working on, reevaluate your progress in these areas, reevaluate where your headspace is at again. Because again, part of this year is weighing out the pros and cons consistently, not just at the beginning of the year. It's consistently you're going to be weighing out these pros and cons. So sit down in June. It's half the year has gone by at this point. Check out how you are feeling. Check out how you are doing. Go ahead and figure out if this is what you are wanting to continue to do. And then make your wish. Blow out the candles. Good job. Good job. You're doing great. Doing great, my Tauran people. Okay. Next, June, July. We are in Nine of Fire. Nine of Fire. And also, we have our Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Okay? Alright, let's talk about it. So spiritually, our Nine of Fire is saying that you are applying yourself and you are waiting for these things to really start to manifest. You are calling upon all of your abilities, all of your energy. You are applying the things that you know. You are learning things on the fly. You are really putting in the effort. your spirit is really helping you in this area because it knows this is something that you really want to do. You're being very adamant about it. Let's talk a little bit about that though. What I will say is that part of this energy is good and part of it is not so good. It's good because it is something that you have believed in for so long that it is something that means something to you, and you're going to need that belief to keep you going. There is a negative aspect to this because part of the reason that you're so gung-ho like you are is because of some type of trauma. Okay? I'm not going to say what kind of trauma. I don't really know. When it comes to this time of the month and you want to talk about it, if you want to talk about it, come talk to me. Mostly because sometimes if you are pushing so hard, you are inadvertently causing yourself some issues because of the desperation and how you're grasping at things. Okay? So if you need help during this time, give me a ring. Hop in them DMs. Go ahead and let me know, because we can work out how you can go about this without creating a struggle, because it doesn't have to be a struggle for you to get to where you're trying to go. And the reason why I say that is because you're in the Knave of Cups position here as well in the physical area. So your spirit is desperately trying to grab at these things, and then you are still in a mindset or in a place of beginner, right? Your emotions are so fragile. Your emotions are so, you're the heartbroken poet, right? And maybe not the heartbroken poet, but maybe the lovesick poet, right? You're so passionate. You're so adamant about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're feeling and stuff, that you're also very sensitive to anyone else that may go against what you have to say, that even if they don't go against it, you're just kind of defensive because you're expecting people to not agree with you or something like that. So it's the energy of oh, I want. I can have. If anything tells me I can't, then I'm mad and I'm angry. We gotta work on that. We gotta release some of that pressure, and also release some of the pressure on yourself, because you're not giving yourself the grace that you need to get it done. You're being too harsh on yourself during this time, and instead we need to have a little more grace for ourselves and what we're applying ourselves for, because at least you are working towards your goal. You may not necessarily be reaching it as quickly as you want to reach it. That is totally fine. These projections that you have do not take into account anything that can go wrong, okay? They just are what you're projecting and your hopes and your goals. However, if it takes longer, that's fine, because guess what? You're still further along than where you started, okay? Do not get down on yourself. That's all I'm trying to say. So that was, I think, July. Let me see. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Now we're in August. Ooh, this year is going by real quick, right, Taurus? Okay. So we're starting off with the Earth, all right? Our Earth card. And then we have the Four of Pentacles for what's happening on the physical world. All right, so the Earth is, it's giving kind of our magician energy. But to explain, your Earth is essentially saying things like, all right, you have tools and abilities, okay? At the center of it is you, but you have all these connections. You have people that you can work with. You have your own abilities that you can do. You have resources that you can grab from. You have unknown things that you can tap into. You have all these things that you have available to you for you to manipulate, for you to contribute to what it is that you're trying to work on. You are at the center of this. So you are telling yourself, as long as you can do it, you can get it done. All right? And this is what your spirit is telling you, and something I want to remind you of during this time. As long as you can physically get it done, you can get it done. Remember, don't stress yourself. Okay? If there comes a point where you are running dry, take that break. Take the break, okay? Because you can't get it done. If your spirit is saying, hey, we need a break, take the break. But if you can get it done and get it done well, go ahead, do it. Because that is the time that you need to be doing it. But in the time that you cannot, some part is not working properly, you reach out to that person, they're not answering, move on. You can't use them. You're wanting to do something, but your emotions are out of whack. Can't do it. Not today. All right? Now let me explain something why. On the physical level, you have the Four of Pentacles. So this is our miser card. If you don't know what a miser is, think Ebenezer Scrooge. You know, the man who has all the money, but he still don't want to give no money away. The one who be penny pinching. And he'd be like, little Tommy be like, hey, can I get some more, please? And he'd be like, some more what? So I am saying that you are feeling the lack mentality. You are feeling the what you gonna do for me mentality. And I'm also not telling you this is a bad thing. You know, if you're doing something for someone, you definitely want to ensure that it is a mutually beneficial situation. However, what I am going to say is that if you are doing things out of the kindness of your heart, you're not expecting things in return, that also can benefit you too. So weigh out your pros and cons in this area. Do not overextend yourself though. Remember I said, if you can do it, do it. But if you can't, don't do it. If you cannot, literally cannot do it, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I don't have it in me to do it today. It's not getting done. It's not getting done. However, if you can, go ahead and do so. And it's mostly because you don't want to hang on to something so hard, a concept so hard, a belief so hard, that you're not allowing yourself to be open to new growth and new changes. I'll give you an example. Somebody will ask me to do something for them, and this is like the third time they've asked me to do it, and I've been doing it for them, and I'm like, you know what, I just don't have it in me today. I'm not going. Guess what? I don't have to go. Even if they're upset with me, even if they, you know, are like, oh, but I need you to do, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. Not today. I'm sorry. However, let's reverse that too. Let's say someone asked you to do something, but they haven't done anything for you, and now you're mad that they're asking you to do something. And you're like, you always ask me to do something, blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay, but guess what? You can do it. You have the energy to do it. There's no reason for you not to do it. And the reason why I tell you this is because you don't know what's going to happen when you actually do it. You may get out there, you run into someone, and that person opens a door that you have been waiting for it to open for so long. You don't know. You're not going to have the same opportunities in your house, sitting right here, as you would if you went outside. All right? So don't be afraid to do either or. But I will say, weigh out those pros and cons. Remember, weigh out the pros and cons. Use your wisdom. All right? If it is something that you think is not going to be good and beneficial in the long run, and it's just sucking away that energy that you have on reserve, make your decision. Weigh out the pros and cons. But again, think to yourself, is this the person I'm trying to be? Is this the person I'm claiming to be? Is this the effort that I'm trying to put in? Okay? All right. I think that was August. September, October, November, December. Okay, yes. September. September gives you Two of Earth. Two of Earth, as well as Six of Swords. Six of Swords. Okay, so here's what the Two of Earth is telling you on a spiritual level. Your spirit is saying, it's time to meditate. It is time to let go of all the control that you have been trying to have. We have been going through a little bit of a cycle here in our last month with giving and not giving, receiving and not receiving, trying to control how it is going, right? For this one, it is saying to just let things be. Just let things even itself out. So in this card, you will see that it has a rocky shore with like water. So like tide pools, right? Tide pools are a great example of like a temperance situation. It is essentially saying that there's enough earth here for it to be earthly. There's enough water here for us to have water. Sometimes the water will go down. Sometimes there'll be more earth. Sometimes the water will come up and there'll be less earth. At some point, you just have to let the flow be what it needs to be. And this month, your spirit is saying, let it flow. Let it go. Let it just be. You know, try not to control things. Try not to be so adamant about how things have to be. Just let it ebb and flow. Mostly because if you put in the right amount of work, if you put in the right kind of work, the ebb and flow is going to be what you want anyway. You know? It's a showcase that you have put something in place that is working and is functioning. Because it is talking about your spiritual side too, it's saying that sometimes you're going to feel more grounded, sometimes you're going to feel more emotional. But guess what? It's fine. As long as you're not, drowning everything, or as long as you're not having earthquakes everywhere, it's fine. Ebb and flow. My emotions come and then they go. Sometimes I'm stable, sometimes I'm emotional. That's okay. How it will translate for you, though, this will allow you to process some things. This is the Six of Swords, as I said before. This is you coming out of a dark time, right? So it seems like you might be having a little bit of mood swings throughout the year, and this is a moody time for you. And so it's like, all right, well, let me have my moods, and then I'll be stable again. Let me have my moods, and then I'll be stable again. Okay? And it's mostly because you're moving from a stressful period into a more lighter period. So you don't want to bring that additional stress, but you can't pretend like you never had the stress in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, you do need to process it. There's a process of grief. One of these things that we're going to do for our Thursday thoughts, or one of the teachings actually, is we're going to talk about the grieving process and doing grieving rituals. And grief can be done for like losses, of course, like someone passed away, you lost a job, you missed an opportunity with a lover or something. Yes. But grief can also be like you're letting go of old ideas. You are not the young person that you used to be. You are more serious than you used to be. There are different ways of grieving for different aspects of your life, and all those ways need those grief periods. Okay, so we have been taught a lot in our society that we should not be expressing all these emotions and blah 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 blah. But then everybody wants to love people, but how are you gonna love people without expressing emotion? Like, there's really a concept that we are missing here, and I am put here right now to help people to translate these things, to go from not just being the robot that society is including us and being, we want to make androids and something unemotional, but we want to also be an android. No. We are emotional beings. We should be emotional. We should use it to benefit ourselves and benefit those around us. Okay? So we're going to help you to do that ebb and flow, to make sure that you are able to feel completely without being judged and all these things. All right? Okay. So moving right along. This is October. We have the Four of Earth, and we have the Three of Pentacles. Four of Earth, Three of Pentacles. Well, it looks like you were done thinking, which I'm actually kind of happy about, because all the thinking was like too much, right? You were getting things done, and now we are really getting things done. This is a lot of Earth energy right here. So this is October, November, December. Yep, October. So October says you have created an internal stability. You have let go of these emotions. You're no longer overrun by them. You have processed some of this grief, some of the emotional sadness and things that you needed to work through. And now we are feeling stable. Not just stable, but like ready to build upon what we are, or we currently are. Okay? This is a beautiful time for yourself. Spiritually, you're feeling just good. You're feeling good. You're feeling rock solid. I love that, Taurus. And it's translating in your physical world with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is saying, we're ready to make some masterpieces. We're ready to get some more work done. We're ready to actually make it look beautiful, get it all nice and ready. All the things. I love that energy, because what it's saying is that because you feel good, you can create well. Some people work on the opposite, right? So some people are like, when I feel bad, I get the most work done. That's fine. But Taurus, when you feel good, you get a lot of things accomplished. You are really out here just spitting out great work. Greatness, okay? So the real aspect of this year is really just, again, keeping you aligned with who you are, and making sure that what you're doing is in alignment with who you have determined yourself to be. When you are in that full alignment, when you are in that stable situation, stable mindset, stable spiritual area, you are golden. Okay, so in November we have Samhain, which is great because that's also Halloween. You also have the star. Can you see that? I know the light is doing all kinds of weird things. All right, so let's talk about Samhain here. Samhain is the time of fall coming in. It is one of the thinnest times of the year for the veil between this side and that side. By this side, I mean like the living and the spiritual realm. This is also a time of like good internal reflection, tapping into your spiritual self. So you may be doing some spirit guide talks, talking to the ancestors, being in a moment of like gratitude while also tapping into your spiritual downloads. You're going to be really making yourself open to this. This is great initiation time as well. So if you want to go through some initiation rituals, this is also a good time to do that. Essentially what it is that you are listening to your spirit. Okay? Very much sitting down and being open to what spirit has to tell you during this time, because this is when it's going to be the most clear to hear. All right? You are also going to have in your outside world the star. So your star, in our normal tarot deck, you can see it. Okay. In our normal tarot deck, it is Aquarius energy. So they have someone pouring water into a pond and then pouring water onto the land. This is about rejuvenation of the areas that you're in, as well as receiving rejuvenation from the areas you're in. This is also, in this deck, it's giving more happy vibes. So in the regular deck, it's more like somber, relaxing, you know, underneath this night sky. For this one, the star is pretty much the sun. You know, it's like going outside, sitting in nature, you know, being playful. This type of energy for you is going to be very rejuvenating. So being around friends, being around family, really like enjoying the company of others. It's going to be very revitalizing. So spiritual wise, it is telling you to sit down, connect with your spiritual side, connect with the spiritual realm, really embrace the information that is coming to you, the soothing energy, mostly because once you're doing so, you're going to feel the goodness. You're going to feel the revitalization. You're going to want to talk to other people and really spread that good cheer. So enjoy that moment because it is helping you to refresh and refuel. All right, that's November. And then December. Okay, so for December, we have our 5 of water. Okay, and we have our 6 of cups. 6 of cups here. All right. So 5 of water is, I want to say this is Esther. She is our goddess of springtime. Spring comes a lot of rain at this point. So Esther is bringing in another equinox. She is also bringing in another transformative experience. There is some cleansing that is happening. Some letting go, some tapping into a renewed energy. That kind of energy there is prepping you for the year's end as well as the new beginning of the year. You may be spending a lot of time with your friends and family at this time. The 6 of Cups is the physical aspect, right? So it's bringing in old connections, old friends, old family, people that you're trying to be around. Good energy. Good energy is coming up. You know, there may be a little bit of negativity here, but not by much. As I said, it's a refreshing renewal. You're feeling like you're letting go of all the stresses from the year, and you're just ready to start the new year. You are so ready to start the new year at this point. Feel that energy a lot. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you some of our other deck here. This is our Mystic Red Rose. And this is how we're going to wrap up. I'm going to give you 5 cards here for the mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, and just the overall for you advice. Okay? Some insights. This is for you right now. All right? That's 2, 3. We got 2 more. Just need 2 more. All right, that's 1. And then we need 1 more. 1 more. Just as some advice just for you right now. Oh, too many. Too many. Don't need that much. Just need 1. That's right. That's right. So ready. Oh, nope. Still too many. Still too many. Just 1. Just 1. Give me 1 card for advice for Taurus so that they can wrap up our reading today with all the juicy information that we've been giving them for their year. Oh, look at that. Here we go. So, for mental, currently, you are going through a masking situation. You are hiding your true feelings. You are pretending. You are deluding. You are gaslighting. You are personifying. So something that you are going through right now, we are talking about January, is saying that you are not being your true self. You are pretending. Okay? Maybe it's because you're not wanting to let people know around you what it is that you're going through. So you're just giving them some whatever they need to get away from you kind of vibe. By all means, do what you got to do. You're protecting yourself right now. But just understand that you are hiding your true feelings. And intuitive people are going to know, you know, so be aware of that. Mentally, though, it's just because you're trying to protect yourself. Whatever it is you're trying to protect yourself from, okay? Mental. Physical, again, you are giving out poker face. This is what you're giving out to everyone else around you. All right? Poker face. So it's saying you're taking a chance, risk, and options, not showing your hand, you're gambling. So you could be literally gambling. You could be just keeping things to yourself because you're thinking about your next moves. What it says is that you're not really sure what your next moves are going to be. So you're kind of like, you know, taking a gamble of what those things are going to be. As I mentioned before, for your January month, you are going to be doing some introspective work. So this is a time of like you really digging deep into yourself. I'm not going to encourage you to take really big chances this month, considering that you are trying to plan out the rest of your year. However, you're just needing to take a look at what you need to do. You don't need to talk to other people about it. You just need to really think about what you're trying to do, okay? That's mentally, that's physically. Emotionally, there's some backstabbing, all right? You are going through a backstabbing motion. Some heartbreak, some loss, some separation, some deception, some lies, a shocking attack. So it's saying that you're having a little bit of some heartache, some heartbreak. You're going through a hard time, so it is time for you to really reflect, you know, emotionally. Maybe something is coming to light that you didn't know about or whatnot, but you know, it's time to do some self-reflection for sure. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, your spirit is giving mirror. All right, it's giving mirror. So it's saying mirroring each other's self-reflection, introspective inner wounds. So whatever your past year has wrapped up with, you're coming in a little hurt. You're coming in with some uncertainty. So again, this is a great time to kind of sit into this reflection, really tap into what it is that you are trying to project for the next year, okay? Overall, this is the you and the advice that is coming with it. We got Phoenix. We got Phoenix here, okay? So what the Phoenix is saying is you're entering a new phase. There's a new rekindling, a renewal, a rebirth. Your mind is going to be changing. You're rising from the ashes, okay? So anything that you have ended in this last year, let it burn. Let it dissolve. Let it rebirth the new you, okay? Because you will have a new year, new opportunities, new just new things that you are working on. So try not to let this keep you down and keep it moving. You got this, Taurus. All right. Thank you guys for all your time today. I hope you found something useful. One of the things that I learned about doing these readings is that if you are watching, this is shown to other people, which is great. If you like, they actually share it to like 5 more people, which is nice. If you comment, they will share it to like 10 more people, which is even better. And if you share it, guess what? Endless possibilities. So if you can, go ahead and like and share, subscribe for more of these type of readings. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you.